right. We are back. We are live. But this time, we're like actually live.
Are we actually live?
we,
Better
we
make sure
are.
you hit the right button. All right.
I
Well,
did. For
it
real,
is
for real.
Friday the 8th. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, a couple of weeks till Christmas.
It's,
Welcome back to Live Feed Reads. I'm Paul Reed, your host. The Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson, Jason Crawford, right across the screen.
yeah.
All right. So today's subject is I have a trial on Monday.
Yeah.
And what sucks is I haven't slept at all this week because what happens, at least to me, is you go to sleep. But if I wake up and all of a sudden something of this trial pops into my mind,
Yes.
going back to sleep's impossible. I sat
Impossible.
there, I try to think of something else, try to listen to the fan, but just
Yeah.
it just keeps you up, and
I know
you do go
exactly
back
how
to
that
sleep,
feels.
but that's the way it goes. So you're
Yeah.
on this one now. Now, everyone should know by now that we typically represent the plaintiffs, meaning the injured party. On this one, I got to be honest. I'm not sure how I met the Harringtons. It was back in
Wait,
2008.
can we say their names so we're
Yeah,
clear?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because I'm doing this pro bono for them, and
Okay.
they're actually the defendants, and quite honestly, one of the most frivolous cases I've ever seen in my life and been a part of.
Even
Uh,
worse than mine?
yeah,
Well, I mean, it's probably for
yeah.
more money.
But so because
Wow.
well, let me just read. It's a rough draft, but let me read the opening statement that I have. I've been working on, and then it kind of gives the facts and what happened and this, that, and the other. So let me do that,
right.
then we can chat about
I'm so nervous about this, but go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So it's basically it says, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to start, and again, I'm just going to read it, but at trial it's going to sound different. It's not going to sound like I'm reading it because I'm
You're
not
gonna
going
have to rehearse it.
But for this, I'm going to just go ahead and read it. And I'll try to slow down. I'm going to start by saying there is a victim here, but it's not the plaintiff. And I say his name, but you're right. We'll just say it's not the plaintiff. I'll say, it's really, I can say Mrs. Harrington. They won't care. Believe it or not, this case began on Monday morning, August the 13th, 2018. This incident began as a road rage instigated by the plaintiff. Now, mind you, remember, I'm the defendant on this one, which doesn't happen much and probably not a handful of times in my whole career.
Right.
The incident occurred in front of the plaintiff's driveway on McIntosh Road in Dover. The Harringtons lived about a mile north of the plaintiff on McIntosh Road in Dover as well.
I don't know that we should tell all of that.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just so you'll know, anyone can go to a trial. They're public, and that's why, by some of these famous trials, they have to pass out. You got to get a card, get an agreement, or get in line because people can just go. And so this is all. It's all going to be a public record. There's going to be a court reporter there. I mean, you can go in if you want and record it. I mean, just that simple.
I just don't know if there are any rules about like people's addresses and stuff like that being.
I didn't say their address. I said McIntosh Road. Do you know how big McIntosh Road is?
True.
That's like saying you live on State Road 60.
Fair enough.
State Road 60 goes all the way to the East Coast.
I'm just trying to make sure we don't get slapped on the wrist. Go ahead. Keep going.
By who?
It's Facebook.
Oh. Well, why does Facebook care about if you just name? I don't know. Whatever. If they do,
they leave personal identifiers out. So for that,
I don't think. Okay, that's fine. I don't think it's a personal identifier. But anyway, if you want to bleep it out, if you want to save it, I guess it's too late. But whatever. Anyway, the defendants did not know the plaintiff, had never met him before. August 13th, 2018. I'll just put Mrs. Defendant. How about that? Even though we said her name, maybe you can go back and when you post it, block it out, right?
I can't. Okay.
Mrs. Defendant said goodbye to her husband of 27 years and their kids, as she always does. As she was driving south towards a major interstate, traffic came to a stop. This area is typically congested in the morning. This was the beginning of school, which is also a nightmare for traffic. There's a traffic light just south of this major intersection, and which basically caused the traffic to back up with the extra people on the road. But that's not in the that's not in there. But anyway, while she was stopped in traffic, the plaintiff was leaving his home, which buttresses the road we're talking about. He too was going to travel south towards the major interstate. Rather than wait for traffic to clear, he pulls into the northbound lane of this road that they're on, blocking traffic heading in the opposite direction. So they're trying to go south, just by way of what's going on here, and he just pulls out from his driveway. And you've seen people do this, and he just pulls into the northbound lane. So he's blocking the people heading the opposite direction. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So at some point, while stopped in traffic, Mrs. Defendant hears a honking, and so she rolls down her window to figure out what the heck's going on, where's it coming from, when she hears the plaintiff yelling and cussing at her to move forward. So Mrs. Defendant responds by holding up her fingers like this, right?
Right.
Indicating that she only has an inch or two to move forward, so she really can't move forward enough for him to pull into, behind her and not block the northbound lane. You with me so far?
Yeah. Is he trying to turn left or something?
Yeah, he's trying to go south as well, same direction as Mrs. Defendant. The plaintiff has testified at deposition and will testify at trial that he took this gesture to mean he has a small peepee. Yeah, you can't make this up. And he admits to this. At his deposition, he testified that's how he took it. So what does he do?
So everything. Okay. Sorry,
well, no. So he flicks her off. He gives her the bird. He gives her the finger. Then he starts yelling, "Suck my," I'll say the letter D.
Sure. Yeah, we know what you mean. Right.
Several times. He's yelling and screaming at this and giving her the finger because he is blocking traffic and she won't move up, but she can. All right. Both the plaintiff and Mrs. Defendant agree this went on for at least 5 minutes with him honking, cussing, screaming, vulgarities at her, gesturing. By the way, I forgot. He also gestured this as he's saying the he's doing this.
Careful,
dude.
I don't want to get us pulled off. Oh, no. Yeah, no. Okay. Careful.
All right. Well, he's doing that as well.
So he's making
you saw what he's
blatantly obscene gestures. Blatant.
Yes. Okay. And so that's what happens. Now, his version is basically let me see. I gotta scoot down because there's confrontation.
So you deposed him.
Oh yeah. All right. His version is I was exiting my driveway when Mrs. D's car was in front of the path of my driveway. I was blocking the direction of the other traffic. She was not paying attention to the traffic, so I tapped on the horn. I just lightly tapped on the horn to get her attention because in front of her there was a space that the other cars had moved forward and she hadn't seen it and moved up. I got behind her, and then all of a sudden, this is why I'm going to get female jurors. She gives me this look through her side view mirror. Now note, not a rear view mirror, her side mirror, right? like this look that I've seen it before. Women, they got that look that could kill. So then I went ahead and I flicked her off, indicating the finger. And then he agreed with the rest of what happened about his gesturing, his cussing, his telling her to perform,
Sure.
sex
Right.
acts
Yep.
and so forth.
Right.
So he
Yep.
agrees to all of that.
Jeez.
All right.
Okay.
Well, all right. So that was on the 13th. So she goes home that night and she tells Mr. Defendant what had happened.
Yeah.
Well, he's not real happy with that.
No.
So, but he doesn't do anything that night. But he's stewing. He's angry. He's upset. And
Yes.
so, a couple of days later, on the 15th, he wants to go and confront Mr. Plaintiff. So he goes down in his like golf cart type of a vehicle, and he's got a video of him sitting, in front of the gate, the Mr. Plaintiff's gate, and
Okay.
you see his dad pull up and is really trying to talk him, like, come home, let it go,
Oh my.
yada yada yada. Dad leaves. Well, Mr. Defendant, he just can't. So he rams the gate. All right.
No
And
way.
he damages the gate.
Okay.
All right. And so,
Rams
but
it with his golf cart?
yeah, and he
Okay.
damages the gate. Well,
Okay.
Mr. Plaintiff has sued Mrs. D and
Okay.
Mrs. Defendant and Mr. Defendant. Now, Mrs.
Okay.
Defendant literally did absolutely nothing. She'd never been to his house. She never went on his property. She didn't ram the gate. She's really the victim here, but he sued her all the same for
Okay.
trespass, damage to the gate, this, that, and the other.
All right. Is it 2 lawsuits or 1 then? Is it
But it's
joint or?
combined. It's
Okay.
a Mr. Plaintiff versus Mr. and Mrs. Defendant.
Okay.
All right, and Mr. Defendant admits he shouldn't have done it, and has offered to pay the damages.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, honestly, Mr. Plaintiff's damages, even if he prevails on all of them, are 11, 12, maybe $13,000. That's
Okay.
what he's claiming. They're overpricing the gate. He's claiming lost wages. He didn't have any, but we're going to concede that anyway. But they just won't take it. I don't know. I don't know why this case is going to trial, because we've offered to pay what he wants. But now that we're going to trial, I am going to try to convince the
Wait,
jury.
so
Go ahead.
been deposed, he asked for 13K to cover
Right.
all of that,
Right.
and you agreed,
Right.
and then he's still going to trial.
They won't take it.
To what? Why?
I
Do he
don't
wants
know.
more?
I don't know why. I know this is the guy. Well, here I'll tell you why.
Okay.
This guy just he wants to go to trial just because. I know, just because.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
isn't there
wants
like
his day in court, and I don't know why.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, isn't there a rule to like using the courts frivolously, or I mean, if it could have been settled, like
no.
Okay.
Well, just so you know, settlement negotiations are confidential. So
confidential.
you can't discuss the fact that we
Oh,
tried
you're not
to
even
settle. So
allowed
I
to
can't
talk
go
about
in
that.
there.
Oh.
At the end, I will say, look, we'll pay him his $1,000 lost wages. We'll pay him, this, the that. But now I'm going to say, look, because I've deposed, I call it an expert, someone who installs gates, and the gate is a standard gate. It's about $1,500 at your gate store, and it's about $1,500 to install. So we're going to shoot for about $4,000 to $5,000. If I got to go to trial, I'm not just going to concede all of that.
Sure, no.
And I'm going to tell the jury, look, if you think that the plaintiff, Mr. Plaintiff, was responsible for all this, give him nominal damage. Give him, no lost wages. He wants $1,000. he has no documentation or evidence other
Really?
than him just testifying, I lost $1,000. Give him nothing.
Yeah.
As far as the gate goes, give him the 4,000 that my expert says it's worth. He's got, and here's what's interesting.
Interesting.
There's a video of my guy ramming the gate, right?
Yep.
Okay. The plaintiff is also saying, you know, those keypads on the side of the gate that you can punch in the code, right?
Yes.
He's saying he rammed that as well and damaged it, and it needs to be replaced, right?
Mm.
Okay.
But that's not
Guess
on
what?
the video.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that video.
Of course, I'm gonna be something to the effect. Well, you got a video of him ramming your gate, so that's conceded. Where's the video of him ramming your keypad?
Right.
There isn't one because he didn't do it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's I'm not going to concede the keypad.
So in the deposition, did this guy admit to misunderstanding her gesture? Like, is that one of the questions that you asked?
Oh no, he thinks that she was saying you have a small.
And he still thinks that's what she meant.
Dude, he's going to get on that stand and tell this jury that.
Yeah. Wow. If looks could kill. I know I've had that look 1,000 times.
Dude, yeah. I mean,
it's like, bro, I'm sure you've had that look 1,000 times from women.
Here's the thing that just so you'll know out there
in
TV land.
Yikes.
This is actually going to be enjoyable because well, you know the type where all you got to do is give them a little push.
Yeah, let them talk. Just be quiet, let them talk.
And they go ape poo poo.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just gonna give him that little nudge.
He'll start flinging it everywhere.
He's gonna explode.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna let him go.
My word.
Yeah. So
I wish we could video it. I really wish we could video.
Yeah. Well, it's
this would be better than the Johnny
I'll be in the Hillsborough County Courthouse, 5th floor. On Monday if you want to come and see.
Should I?
You should. It's like I said, it's a total waste of time.
Send me the times.
But yeah, but I there's nothing like my guys can do about it. My clients can do about it. We have, obviously.
Well, he wouldn't settle. He wouldn't agree. Like, I mean, what are you gonna do?
I don't.
And for what? Who knows?
I don't know. Well, I mean.
So let me ask this: if he admits to pulling into left-hand traffic in the thing, is he then also due a traffic violation?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, certainly he could have been ticketed for if a police officer come up for blocking traffic. Sure.
Yeah.
But
interesting.
Who does that? Who does this?
I don't, man. There are people.
And just so you'll know,
there are
Mr. and Mrs. Defendants, dude, they're very nice people.
Yeah, I echo. I feel. Yeah, what he did resonates with me. Like everything we would want to do if somebody like, if my wife came home and was like, "Man, I was brutally attacked," in the car. I don't know why this guy's so mad. I would be.
Dude, and said and gestured and did the things that he did.
Yeah, I would be as mad as well. I'm not saying I would do exactly what he did, but it resonates with me that he responded that way. Let me put it that way.
There's a country song. I don't know if. Let me see if I can.
I don't know if that's.
I'm not going to say it,
but it definitely resonates with me that he did that. Right? I'm like, okay.
The song is basically something to the effect that sometimes you got to whoop a man's.
Yeah.
Good country song.
Yes, it is. Yes,
so that's my trial. I believe the jury is going to just not be happy with the plaintiff. I believe the jury's not going to be happy with the plaintiff's lawyer.
2018, man, it's 2023, almost 2024. Like you're talking 6 years of continuing to be.
In all fairness to me, I have gutted their case.
Yeah.
They wanted A, B, C, D called damages. No, thank you. Thanks for coming. Not going to happen. Goodbye. So now,
so y'all been replying back and forth, right?
It started off with intentional infliction of emotional distress, assault, this. I got it all dismissed. All those counts dismissed. Yeah, that's right.
Everybody needs a good lawyer as a friend, man.
And so now, now it's down to this, which any other attorney, in my opinion, plaintiffs would say, fine, this is what's left. It didn't work out. Give us the money and move on.
Yeah. But 6 years of him continuing to pursue is kind of my point. At no point in this did he go, whatever, just.
No, well, they thought they were going to get 6 figures or more. Yeah.
So that's why he's still going after this.
No, he can't anymore. When he started this with the those are called non-economic damages, pain and suffering, mental anguish.
At the outset, he had.
But all of the counts that had that component in there, I've gotten dismissed.
Nice.
So there's no non-economic damages left for him to pursue on Monday.
Right. And he's left with the $13K he asked for that you said he could have and still said no to.
Yes.
What? After 6 years, bro, like, I don't know. I don't understand the delusion under which he's operating. Honestly.
Look, here's the deal. My book, if you haven't read it, it's full of stuff like this.
Yes, it is, actually.
Some of it, this might go in the new book, to be quite honest.
Okay.
Crystal and I are talking about right in a second.
She told me.
Yeah, and this one will probably make it into that.
Okay.
Because it's unbelievable. I've had some doozies. I think a couple are in there. And this one is about as doozy as a doozy can get. Jeez. And so remind me next Friday. Let's see what happens.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll be checking back in on this. Yeah, for sure. And in the meantime, try to get some rest because I know how it is. I woke up I did the same thing, man. I woke up thinking about a client that I'm mentoring, like a young guy that I'm working with, and just my mind, I could not go back to sleep. I get it.
It's rough, but
it's heavy.
Say la vie, nothing you can do about it.
Right.
Other than that,
good luck to you.
That's what I got. That's what I got for you today. Didn't go out with the something on the law. There's probably things going on in the world, but I've been even though this case is somewhat simplistic, to be honest, you always want to go in there and give it your 110%, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and
so
we want to let you get back to that. So I appreciate.
And so appreciate
it. And
that's what you do.
But it is Friday, and the weekend is here for the rest of you folks. Go
Christmas
enjoy your
coming
holiday
up, so,
parties.
With that, why don't you take us out? Everybody, be safe. Have a good weekend, and hook up with us on Friday to find out what happened in the saga of Mr. P versus Mr. and Mrs. D.
Yeah, send me the dates, the times. I may actually have to join you.
Yeah, well, basically 9 o'clock in the morning, but I'll text you.
Yeah, text me.
Yeah, and then it'll be interesting.
Read and read. It's like having a lawyer in the family.